Why does the music always cut off just as I need to swap over from the loop to the actual game? But anyway, hello, and welcome back to more Final Fantasy. I was about to say I'm late, but I'm not late. I was nearly late. No, I got distracted really. I try and make a habit of, before stream, making sure I go to the bathroom so I'm not in that awkward situation of needing to use the toilet while I'm in the middle of a stream. And there was a bug on the window that I could not remember ever having seen this type of bug before. So I found myself kind of like, I couldn't let this question go unanswered, so I had to spend a few minutes before stream googling this bug to find out what kind of bug it was. And I learned that I've apparently never seen a mayfly before. Or if I have, I've never... I don't know, I feel... I just kind of saw the bug and it's kind of like, I've never seen this before. Like, is it? But I looked it up and it's... That's just what an adult mayfly looks like. I didn't realize they had two, like, really thin tails. No. So, yeah. That was my distraction. I do not know how in all my life I've never processed what a mayfly looks like. Because I have to have seen a mayfly before. I live out in the country in Northern Ireland. I have to have seen a mayfly somewhere before in my life. But that is off topic. So today we're back with Sorin's journey after a triple set of Persona streams. So I'm back in Volgord Float, as you can see, which is to start with the next Ixal tribe quest. And then we'll be getting right back into, so pretty much same as last stream, Ixal tribe quest followed by Shadowbringers job quests. But I believe after this one we should have time to go ahead and start and possibly finish the Gladiator story quests. But for now, let's get to it. Midgard Sorin. Don't mind the quest completion. I've been saving turning in those quests so I don't waste the reputation gain. Sizzle. Any word about Tadaramu? Scott? Greetings, Sorin. Mood of the camp dampened it is. Dark and dreary. Lie dormant, Desil Qolandas, like deflated balloon. Fly without Tataramu's touch it cannot. Rely on Tataramu we did. More than Cecil realized. Come heart of Ectal 9 Tataramu has. Despise his helpless feeling, Cecil does. Ask Sorin to visit Gridania, and parley with Highwind Skyways, Cecil would. Skok. Only fledglings sit and screech and do nothing. Tataramu needs to fly, and give him that chance we will. So serious Cecil has become. Bring small featherless one back to us, Sorin must. I'll do what I can. I don't like using my reputation, but maybe now is a time I can leverage the whole being the, warrior of light thing. Down to the airship landing. Also, I'm going to, just because it bothers me seeing completed quests there, let me hide that one. going to be a representative of the airways anywhere, I imagine it'll be down here. Oh. That little uniform looks similar. Excuse me. I'm sorry, were you addressing me? If you've a business proposal or seek employment, then I must ask that you first make an appointment for the official company represent... You wish to know Totaramu's whereabouts? I assume you're referring to Master Totaramu. Forgive me, but I must inquire as to your relationship with the chairman's son. I fail to see how someone of your apparent... it's you! You were there in that filthy Ixal camp! You're the one who conspired with those battalion savages to kidnap Master Totaramu! Well, I'm certainly not about to share any information with a disreputable ruffian such as you. Shoo! Begone! Now I shall be late on boarding the chairman's flight to Kerfus. It's a very important meeting in the observatorium with very important people. I don't know if I was meant to overhear that. But, well, it seems that maybe my reputation isn't as notable outside of the circles I'm around. Maybe I can... If I go to the observatorium myself, maybe I can talk to the chairman directly. No. This feels like it'll be a hard... It'll be a difficult sell. To convince him to let Totaramu go back to the Ectal 9. If I remember correctly where any important meetings happen. That looks like him. Excuse me, ma'am. You again. However did you know where to... Well, I'll not stumble like that a second time. Keep quiet. Chairman Tadabaru is engaged in extremely delicate negotiations and is not to be disturbed. You're still asking after Master Totaramu? Will you not be silent? If you absolutely must know, the young man accompanied us here as part of his continuing education in company management. His chambers are guarded by our loyal, not to mention lethal, retainers. So you can forget any plans to spirit him away again. Right. So he's here somewhere. I've gone all this time in Final Fantasy and never realized there was a tavern here. Right, not there. Maybe in the upper rooms? Hello. Wait, that armor... Don't mind me. That confused. For a moment I thought that was Attorel there. Not just a player playing dress up. Oh, Sorin! What are you doing here? Sizzle sent you? Broken without me, you say? I never imagined that the absence of my skills would be so keenly felt. I am flattered, but as dearly as I would love to stroll out the door with you, I'm afraid things aren't that simple. My father dragged me along on the pretense that I would be learning the trade, then confined me to this room. I'm practically a prisoner. Did you see the guards on your way in? Should I attempt to take even one step across the threshold, those company-bought thugs will stop me in my tracks. There must be a way past them that doesn't involve outright violence. I have it! You must need to speak with Templeton, the Skywind's employee stationed here at the observatorium. He's aided us with component crafting before, and is one of the few people in the company I might consider an ally. Wily he may be, but it is that exact trait that will serve us now. Templeton. That's right, I've crafted a few things for the Ixal 9 there. I do imagine if Seri was doing this, she'd be wondering why just using violence isn't an option. Templeton? Ah, good day to you, adventurer. What may poor Templeton do to serve you on this cold and miserable day? Well, come to think of it, fairly well describes every day in this god's-forsaken, croc-infested stench of icy hell. Oh, looking to break Master Tartarama from his confinement, are you? Well now, I'm sure I couldn't possibly lend my assistance to such a shady undertaking, and I certainly wouldn't suggest the use of a particularly potent sleeping potion. Our sellswords have grown fond of drinking mulled wine in an effort to forget their freezing extremities, and I'm sure they wouldn't question the appearance of another bottle on the table. Oh, 'twould hardly be your fault if they overindulged and found themselves snoring under the table till morning. Away with you and your nefarious schemes, and be sure to pass on my regards to the chairman's son. Yeah, why not use violence? I don't quite know how I feel about just drugging them, but that's better than a fight. It is just someone being dressed up as that. He's made his character Atwarel. Well, I guess now we just wait a bit. Tadaramu? Sorin, what news? Was Templeton able to offer a solution to our dilemma? He gave you what? A sleeping potion? Oh, well, I hope his concoction has no lasting ill effects. If past experiences ought to go by, those retainers should be well into their cups by now. I'll sneak past as quickly as I dare and meet you outside. Alright. Well, they seem fine. Totoro? Is everything okay? Oh, so far so good, it would seem. Now, let's return to Cecil's camp before my father concludes his negotiations. A word with you, Master Totoro. Coulson? Coulson! When did you arrive in Curfus? It is good to see you. I know what you're planning, lad, and you know what will happen should you go through with it. Your father will not tolerate this defiance. You've taken his side? I had thought that you at least would support me in this. Pray take a moment to consider your father's perspective. He only wants what is best for the future chairman of Highwind Skyways. The world you stand to inherit is not the world in which the rest of us live. There are commoners, and there are kings. We are all born into our fates and the responsibilities they bring. I am no prince. I am but the privileged brat of an airship empire. And how did that empire come into being? Highwind Skyways merely copied the balloons of the Ixal and hopped a little into the air. I care not for our company's reputation or its profits. Fortune? Prestige? Its aims are so low. Cecil and his Ixal 9 are reaching for the heavens. They have grand dreams and a passion unlike any I've seen before. They seek to restore their lost wings, and God's damn it, I would help them. I would share in that vision, soar in that same sky. That is all I wish for. Fortune and fame for basic bitches. Yep. He just wants to fly. Go, Master Totoro. I will speak with the chairman myself. I will convince him of the depth of your desire, as you have convinced me. You will? I have underestimated you, young sir. Those eyes, that mask of determination. It is like witnessing a decades-old memory come to life. There can be no doubt that your grandfather's blood runs hotly in your veins. Coulson. Quickly now, off with you. The longer I stand here in the biting cold, the more my hip starts to ache. Oh, the fervent heat of youth. He just had to bring up the colt, didn't he? Should have brought sleeves. Oh, come, Sorin. We've kept Cecil waiting long enough. Right. Back to warmer climes. Oof. At least I've got the heat of the Firebird to help me. Back to the shroud. And now it's just rain. I really could do it with some better weather. Maybe I could do with dressing more appropriately for it. Cecil? I've brought a friend. Chief Toadalook, your designer has returned. Cecil? Cecil? Scott? Fogged up for no reason, Scoggles did. Not tears of joy, no. Humidity. Listen well, Tataramu. Make up for lost time we must. Work and work until Dezelqualan is complete. Until hands ache and sweat turns to blood. Yes, sir. Found you. Found camp we have. Reeking pile of dung hidden in forest. That's... No, not now. Knew you were sneaking about, we did. But know why we did not until now. Preening fevers for forest people. Making unsanctioned balloon. Crime against goddess and our people you have committed. Harsh your punishment will be. Break it down. Burn it down. Leave you to stew in fear we shall. Hear if this treachery our Natalan brothers will. Skunk. Pluck their fevers. Snap their bones. That doesn't sound good. Cecil, what do we do? Found us they have. Cecil knew this day would come. Skunk, too soon. Too soon it is. If but complete Dezelqualan we can. Guess time's of the essence then. Nope. There's the honored rank. Thanks to your diligent efforts, the construction of Dezelqualan is almost complete. With the return of Tataramu, a few final adjustments are now all that stand between the Ixal 9 and the distant skies. I only need 1,320. I think you get like 40 of... Oh, no, 50 reputation a quest for that one. So yeah, that shouldn't take me too long to do. I can do that over a weekend. But next up is more job quests. Back to Kugani for Samurai. Alright. I'm sure Cecil and Totteram will get in touch if they need my help with anything. For now... wonder how things have been going with Makoto ever since she took over here. Makoto? It's been a while. Sorin, how good of you to pay me visit. Now of all times. You see, I'm about to depart for Eorzea to visit Master Musosai's grave, to tell him of our victory over Ugetsu. That you should come to me at this juncture is most fortuitous. Would you do me the honor of accompanying me on this journey? Of course. I've only just come from Eorzea myself, but... well, I suppose traveling isn't too much trouble when you can access the Aetherites. Thank you, my friend. And lest you wonder, I've not forgotten about Momoziko. I would call on him as well. Upon arriving, let us first go to the quicksand. Momoziko... It's been a while since I've said hello to him. Wonder how he's been doing since all that. Back to Ulda. Makoto? Oh, I'm afraid Momoziko isn't here. According to the folk here, he is in the midst of preparing for another spectacle. Though I'm curious as to what he has in store, we shouldn't keep Master Musosai waiting. Let us go to his grave first. The place was the Silver Bazaar, if I recall correctly. Come, let us be on our way. Oh, right. That's out the western gate. Oh, you like this? I'm trying to remember this one. But it's not quite coming to memory. Off on my Amalja, Drake. It's been quite a while since I don't know if I actually ever returned since I first took Makoto here. Rando suddenly running out to kill. Oh, I didn't even notice when he. The town is much livelier than I recall, and there are folk attired as samurai besides. Curious. But come, Master Musosai awaits. Right. People's style is... huh. So familiar, Raiden? Begging your pardon, but aren't you the samurai who was with Master Musosai? You and him saved me from that vile moneylender. Thanks to you, I could go back to Nurse Da back to health. When I heard that Master Musosai had passed away, I came to pay my respects. If I'll rest his soul. Right. That was a... fixated on the convo, you didn't even note. Nope. I have my blinkers on. You... You may not remember me, but my name is Honfrin. We met but briefly when you found me despairing of life under my roofless father. After that day, I left Ishgard behind and took to wandering the realm. Soon after arriving in Ul'dah, I learned Master Musosai had passed away. Though I did not learn his name until later, his words saved me. The least I can do is to offer my prayers in return. These were all... Are these all people... Excuse me. Our work here is done. One fewer evil afflicts the realm. Master Musosai is great and all, but I'm rather partial to his pupil. I'd love to meet him one day. All people here for... Master Musosai? Or like, yep, yeah. We did it, Master Musosai. With Sorin standing with us, we defeated Ugetsu and put an end to his madness. And your teachings, your legacy, they live on in the Sekiseigumi. So please, rest easy. It is done. Thank you for accompanying me. Not a problem. I won't stand for this mummery. That sounds like trouble. Let's go and see what is afoot. Right. There's always something going on. What? Dressing like a samurai don't make you one. You bastard sully Master Musosai's memory. Wait. I recognize... We fought before. Back when I was traveling with... Master Musosai. False balls, it's you! That man knows you and Master Musosai both. I would find out who he is. Sure, though, I think I could tell you. Don't know why he's suddenly acting like... Balls, yep, there we go. Sir? You don't need to run. I'm not here to fight. Forgive me. I've learned my lesson. Since you trounced me on the ship, I've mended my ways. I don't think Sorin would have remembered his name. Yeah, you're the one I fought back then. I'm Ostergrind, and a bodyguard to a serial killer who thought that he could take you on. But I've stopped selling my sword to crooks. I lead an honest life now, selling toad oil. It seems to me that the evil in this man has been excised. I guess. You have naught to fear from Sorin. Now please, be at ease, and tell us the cause of your earlier outburst. If I recall correctly, there's a moment Tara almost says it, but she can't. Also, yeah, the thing is, I think we can see now, like, Fall doesn't have a beard. You see, after I saw what a true samurai could do, I knew I wanted to become one too. So I sought Master Musosai out, hoping he'd take me on as a pupil. Only to learn he'd already passed away. Since then, I've been visiting his grave every day in order to get inspiration. Recently, though, someone's been telling the tale of Master Musosai's quest to right wrongs at the quicksand. On account of that, people started dressing up like samurai and flocking to his grave like it's some goddamned spectacle. But they're false. A whole lot of them. Falser than I ever was. Too bad we never hear again about that one rogue who's claiming. Yeah. I think it's funny enough he does show up a second time, like when you're like investigating Leviathan. Because he's there when you go to investigate Titan, is when you first meet him. I had the honor of knowing Master Musosai. And the Master Musosai I knew would be glad if his tale inspired others to follow in his footsteps. And though he was a solitary man, he did not spurn the company of others. I don't believe he would mind the crowds. Really? Well, I suppose you'd know better than me. But of course. Sir, you really don't need to... It might be as Master Musosai is gone, but you are his pupil. I beg you, teach me how to be a true samurai like you. I wouldn't mind, but I do have to say I'm a little busy. And the places my life takes me aren't exactly the best opportunities for training. Sorin has much demands on his time, and is not in a position to take on pupils. But if you are determined to learn, I invite you to come to Kugane. I can introduce you to schools of swordsmanship. You mean I can train in the Far East? Where it all began? I'd love nothing more. It'd be a dream come true. Yeah, do you have time to teach when you're doing the Heavensward Dragoon quests? What are the Heavensward? Wait, are you I can't remember the Heaven. I just remember the plotline about that dragoon who's like force-fed dragon blood. That's the main thing I remember, is that part of the story. That she feels she can never then return to Ishgard. Because she's, as far as the church is concerned, become a heretic. I wonder... I suppose that probably would have changed, like, given everything that happens since then. Yeah, it doesn't make much sense after Heavensward. Yeah, I found it a shame that kind of like she didn't show back up in Stormblood. Very well. A long journey is better with company. Let us return to Kugane together. Though, I wonder, is someone who has been telling the tale of Master Musosai's quest? It seems to me it could only be one person. I think I have an idea who it is as well. It would be a shame to have come all this way and not see our friend. Let us try visiting the Quicksand again. Yeah, nor does she try to return to Ishgard into Shadowbringers Fall. Yeah. I feel like... Yeah, there are a few storylines I kind of wish were given a bit more time. Also, I'm just gonna quickly just send off one of these requests, because I think I'm expecting some new shiny stuff to arrive. Oh, back to Ul'dah. No, I think it was one of the reasons why I like these. I do like the scholar quests. Is the scholar quests kind of keep like they're fairly consistent. It's a fairly singular story through the whole thing. All about helping resolve the Nemean plague. Makoto? Did you find him? As I had suspected, Momo's is indeed our storyteller. And as luck would have it, he's about to begin another session. Oh. Well, let's see how he tells the tale. He's certainly got a setup. The number of steps he needs. Gather ye round, one and all, and listen to my tale. A tale that began with an unlikely meeting between a young adventurer and an elderly samurai hailing from the Far East. Known as Musosai, the samurai took on challengers upon the blood sands. Many answered his call, but none had an answer to his transcendent swordsmanship. For a time it seemed that he would go undefeated. But there came one unassuming adventurer, wielding the katana, a foreign weapon he had theretofore never held. He fought with heart and skill to claim victory. That was how it all started, wasn't it? After journeying the realm over, vanquishing evil together, never could the adventurer have imagined that, for his final test, he must vanquish Musosai himself. Left with no recourse, he drew his katana and faced his friend and master. A grueling battle unfolded, with neither side yielding a single ilm. The adventurer brought his all to bear, but he was matched at every turn by Musosai, who unleashed technique after deadly technique, betraying no signs of the illness that ravaged his body. But at the end of a contest of equals, it was the younger samurai who dealt the final blow to emerge the victor. His master had trained him well. As he lay battered and bloodied on the snow, Musosai demanded that his pupil finish it. Shutting his eyes tight, the adventurer raised his katana. Whoosh! The blade traced a vicious arc. And cleaved empty air. The adventurer had excised the evil in Musosai, as Musosai himself had done for those who could yet be redeemed. So it was that the elderly samurai found peace in his final moment. It is said that his soul now rests atop the cliff by the Silver Bazaar, where he gazes out at the setting sun. And somewhere out there, the young adventurer continues his noble master's legacy, fighting for justice and vanquishing evil wheresoever it should exist. So ends my tale, The Legend of Musosai. And thank you all for your kind attention. It's really been telling the whole story. Glad he's not being forgotten. I have to say I appreciate the fact he's not calling me out by name as well. You know, it's harder to do this with you lot in the audience. But it's good to see you all, even Mr. Fake Samurai. You're doubtless wondering how I fell into my new calling. Well, during my trip to Kugane, I had the chance to hear a storyteller at the Mujikoza. I knew right away that this is what I wanted to do, what my gift of the gab was meant for. That was a masterful and heartfelt retelling. I pray that you will continue to share the tale of Master Musosai with all the world. You can depend on it. Though, of course, if I'm to be a storyteller worth my salt, I'll need some variety in my repertoire. Sorin, you're still out there doing your adventuring, aren't you? Don't you have any new tales to share that could make for a good yarn? Well... It's not quite my story, but I've somewhat recently learned the tale of a certain huntress. Quite at 12? Your quest to right wrongs took you across the rift into another world? Truth really is stranger than fiction. My thanks, Sorin. This will be a splendid addition to my tales. I'm afraid it is time we sought our ship. Brief though it was, I'm glad for our reunion. I'm gonna train hard on Hingashi. I'm gonna come back a real samurai. Just you watch. If your travel should bring you to Kugane again, please come and seek me out at the barracks. Till next time. I'll see you around, Makoto. Safe travels. To think that pretender would have a change of heart and try to become a true samurai. The old man will be pleased. It goes to show, Musosai's legacy truly lives on in you, Sorin. And it takes root even in the hearts of those you've sliced up. So keep fighting the good fight, my friend. And remember to visit me from time to time to share more of your tales. I'll try and remember to do that. You look after yourself too, okay? Oh, yeah. Yeah, a bit of an angry moment. Yeah, that's one thing I don't tend to have too much struggle with when it comes to my ADHD is the... I know it's apparently a fairly common trait to have a little bit of a short temper. Most of the time I tend to be quite slow to get annoyed. I suppose of everyone that's taught me. I wonder if... if the troop's still in Limsa. I haven't returned to... where is it? Favner yet. Hopefully. Yeah. I think especially when it's kind of obvious you're talking to someone. It just, yeah, being interrupted is not fun. They are still here. Rana? Miss Nashmir? How have you been? Well, if it isn't Sorin, what a delightful surprise. Just look at that posture and poise. I can see you've not neglected your training one bit since we last parted. Nope. Sorry. Wait. Why does this always happen when I start streaming? The tip of my nose gets itchy. As for us, Troupe Falsiam continues to tour Eorzea, bringing hope to the dejected and downtrodden. Whenever and wherever the Toddentan's threatened to rear its ugly head, we were there to cast out the shadows. With tales of our performances spreading across the realm, we've had no small number of aspiring dancers knocking at our door. Training them was consuming nearly all my waking hours, but recently Rana has stepped in to help shoulder the burden. Truly, I'd be lost without her. And what of you, Sorin? Have you had any noteworthy performances since last we met? Oh. Well, I suppose you could say I've had a bit of a performance. Quite a long story, though. And I thought that our voyage to distant shores a long one. I see you've had yourself quite an adventure, though I confess the full import of your tale is quite beyond my comprehension. Still, this bounty hunter you befriended put you in quite a predicament, didn't he? Reminds me of another troublemaker I used to know. Me? A troublemaker? I may have been immature, but I only had my friend's best interests at heart. Is that right, Sorin? And besides, it sounds like even this bounty hunter came around in the end. Indeed. There's a certain something about you, Sorin. Something that brings out the best in those whose lives you touch. And Rana here is a prime example. The hot-headed girl I once knew has come into her own as a dancer. A woman, and a leader of her peers. Perhaps it is finally time that... Yes, I'm sure of it. Sorin, Rana, there's a dilemma that has been weighing heavily on me of late, but I do believe I finally found an answer. Pray accompany me out of the city to Lenosia. I would discuss matters further with you away from the crowds. I wonder what this is about. So, where are we heading? Hello, PD. Oh, I suppose if we want to get away from crowds, this is quite a place as any. Over and over, Mr. Snashmira promised me, no more secrets. I suppose she just can't help herself sometimes. So, Miss Nashmira? What do you need to talk about? Sorin? Rana? Forgive me for not sharing the news with you two sooner. As fortune would have it, Troupe Falsiam has been invited to perform at the Mujikoza in Kugane, and our patrons are willing to pay a premium for our services. That's good news, right? The Mujikoza? You mean that I could dance on the same stage as hosted some of the most renowned artists in all the Far East? Someone pinch me. When do we leave? as soon as we were able. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I had that feeling like there was a hiccup stuck in my throat. And therein lies my dilemma. The threat of the Totentan still looms over Eorzea, and I have a duty to train the next generation of dancers to carry on Troupe Falsiam's mission. I cannot very well abandon these shores while my life's work remains undone, and so I turn to you. Rana amigo, you have blossomed into a fine dancer and a capable leader. I would have you assume my role as principal and oversee Troupe Falsiam's tour of Kugane. Rana taking over as principal? Mr. Nashmir, what are you saying? It is the only practical solution. You would travel to Kugane to share our art with our friends in the Far East. And I could remain here to train our new recruits, and deliver the people of Eorzea from the throes of the Totentans. But I'm not ready for this. There's still so much I must learn. You told me as much just moons ago. And I have seen you come far since then. No one is born a leader, and doubtless it will be a struggle at first. But you are every bit as prepared for this role as I was the day I inherited it. I would not make this offer if I did not believe this with all my heart. And yet, I cannot and will not force the position upon you. But, at the very least, pray think upon it for a while. Me, leader and principal of Troupe Falsiam. I do believe Mr. Snashmir has lost her wits. Why, I still remember the days I would trip over my own 2 feet every time I took the stage. And yet, she seems intent on remaining here in Eorzea. If I refuse, the curtains will fall on a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to showcase our art on the Far East's biggest stage. And yet, were I to go and fail spectacularly... I swear, my mind is going in circles. Whatever should I do, Sorin? It's not like me to brood and fret like this. What's Sorin's response here? There. Sorry. I'm trying to... Where was I? Well, if Mr. Snashmira trusts you, then... Well... Why don't you show me how you've improved since last we met? What are you saying? That if I cannot find the answer I seek in still thought, perhaps I might find it in motion? You may very well be right. Dance with me, Sorin. Show me through your emotions all you have learned in your travels, and help me to clear the shadows of doubt from my mind. Dancing... together. It's been a while. I'll try to keep up. A stunning view. No sign of onlookers from Moms. Yes. This place should serve nicely for our private performance. We dance today not for admiring crowds. Our only audience is each other. So face me, Sorin. I would look upon your movements in all their glory, and let you inspire me to greater heights. Oh, and there's the sun out. Seems like we've still got it. Oh, thank you, Sorin. That was simply exhilarating. Oh, and the fog actually has lifted. From the first step, I couldn't take my eyes off you. Before I knew it, I had forgotten myself. My worries carried off by the wind. You were watching me, yes? What did you think? Have I truly come far, as Mr. Nashmira says? Yeah, I think so. I think Sorin would just have the straightforward response. Definitely have. You're too kind, Sorin. Seeing you has inspired me to work even harder, that I could truly reach the heights Mr. Nashmira envisions for me. In any event, this I know more than ever. Dancing is my life, my calling. I must continue to perfect my craft, that I might inspire and bring hope to others, just as Mistress Nashmira and you have inspired me. The answer is clear to me now. I may not be the leader that she was, but I will be the leader I know I can be. I'm sure you will be, Rana. Thank you for everything, Sorin. I must return to Limsa to relay the news to Mistress Nashmira. You will join me there, won't you? Of course. Still have to say goodbye to everyone. Nope, is that not the final part of the quest? Or is it, is it speak to Nashmira and then to Rana again? I was trying to remember what else happens. This isn't the usual place we meet. Rana here came dashing into the town half out of breath. I can only assume what this means. The girl has found her answer, has she not? I believe she has. Rana? You bet I have. I may not be ready to fill your toe shoes completely, but damned if I'm not going to try. Leave the turf Kugani to me. I'm proud of you, Rana. Now go and tell the others that you must begin preparations at once. I will be along with Sorin shortly. While I am beyond pleased with the results, I must admit I did not expect the girl to reach a decision so quickly. Whatever did you do to bring about her change of heart? Well, we're dancers. So it was not with words, but through your actions that you spoke to the girl. Indeed, it is as I thought. Your very presence is as a mirror that helps those around you discover their true selves. In any event, Rana owes much to you, my friend. As do I. Troupe Falsiam is stronger for you having joined us. Come now, let us return to the others. I don't know if I've made as much a difference as Mr. Nashmira seems to think, but I'm just glad I could be of help. I cannot say I was prepared for this, and yet If this is how Mr. Snatchmira would have it, it is far from my place to oppose. Besides, nothing in this world can last forever. With the end of one era comes the beginning of the next, and all of us here welcome Mistress Rana's reign. We will do all in our power to see that Troupe Falsiam continues to flourish under her stewardship. Makoto, my friends, you are too kind. Let us not forget that we are all in this together. If we move forward as one, there's no limit to the heights we may reach. And with that, we must prepare to set sail without delay. In Kugane too there are those whose spirits sag, and we must bring them hope as only Troupe Falsiam can. I too should be getting on. The Toddentans threatens to return in hidden corners of the realm, and I must train the next generation of dancers to continue our fight. And you have your own adventures to return to, don't you, Sorin? But don't be sad. Mr. Snatchmira, you and I, even if we go our separate ways, we will always be united by our passion for dance. Our paths will cross again, I'm certain. And on that day, you'll be simply astonished at the dancer I've become. Mark my words. I look forward to it, Rana. And so to you, my rival, my friend, I say not farewell, but rather, keep dancing, until we might once again take the same stage. That's them all. Well, except Warrior, but Sorin hasn't done the Warrior quests on stream, so I'll have to skip over that one. Well, what to do now? Still haven't heard anything from Ixal or Tataru about anything urgent needing my attention. Oh. Thinking back to my time with Musasai, meeting him at the Coliseum, maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea to go back there. Might as well make use of this downtime to maybe pick up something new. Suppose you can never learn too many skills. Okay, now this is the thing. I've been intending so many times to test this first, because I don't actually know how New Game Plus works. I know I go to tank quests, and if I go to Gladiator, commence. Oh, that happens. New Game Plus mode. So you want to be a gladiator. Yeah, I know how to activate it. I'm just kind of, I wasn't quite sure like what happens when you use it and how it actually functions. All right, here we are. Been a while since I've checked in at a guild. Excuse me. Welcome to the Gladiators Guild, adventurer. Here our members train tirelessly with sword and shield so that their names might one day be written in legend. Was that a flash of interest in your eyes? If you wish to study swordplay, note that admission to the guild is free of charge. Well, if you'll have me. Oh, I had marked you as a man of action. I'm pleased to see that I was not wrong. Now, while you may be familiar with the deadly dance of battle, you are new to us and must begin at the beginning. If you would take your place in these hallowed halls, you must be willing and ready to undergo the most rigorous training. You must endure cuts and bruises beyond counting, and like as not, far worse. A daunting prospect, I concede, but there's no other way if you mean to take to the blood sands one day. And why wouldn't you? The Colosseum is only the most celebrated place of public entertainment in all of Ul'dah. Where else could a poor man amass a fortune so vast as to one day allow him to claim a seat on the syndicate? That's right, isn't it? General Aldin made a name for himself here. There's not an Ul'dah alive who isn't inspired by the rise of the self-made man. And there's no truer embodiment of that dream than the gladiator who wins riches and fame with his sword. Throughout its long and storied history, this guild has nurtured countless champions. Our training methods are second to none, and our members ever strive to develop new techniques. If you desire true glory, to fight and triumph amidst the roar of 10,000 voices, then this is where you belong, adventurer. Think of it. Think of your legacy, and if your soul stirs, join us. Well, that's why I'm here. What will it be? Will you rise above the masses and inscribe your name in legend, or will you resign yourself to mediocrity and die in obscurity? Well, given I feel it's a little late for the second, I guess I'll take the first. A decision you shan't regret. One moment, make way for Sorin Sherwood. Fresh meat coming through. Now then, before your enrollment can be considered complete, you must present yourself to First Sword Milla. Seek her out and obtain her approval. Right. Hello. I heard Lulitsu. So you're Sorin Sherwood. It's a good, strong name. On behalf of the Gladiators Guild, allow me to welcome you. I am Milla, Guildmaster here. So, you wish to study our arts? I presume you have your reasons for choosing the sword over all other weapons. Perhaps you think it the easiest to learn. A sword is a simple weapon, but to wield a blade well is anything but simple. For every Colosseum champion to emerge from our ranks, there have been countless disappointments who failed to achieve greatness. Bear that in mind before you answer me, Sorin, for I do not ask this question lightly. Have you the strength to live by the sword, and, if it be your fate, die by it? Well, I believe I do. It's a different type of sword, I imagine, but it isn't the first time I've taken up a sword. Then welcome, Gladiator, to your new home. Take this sword. There are many like it, but this one is yours now. Consider it a gift, if you like. Now wear it on your hip as I do, and show me you are ready to begin your training. Right. Gladiator unlocked. Well, fortunately, I have the connections to make sure I'm well equipped for this. Guildmaster? Amazing what a difference a sword can make. Your expression, your posture. You're already brimming with confidence. Let's see if that confidence is warranted, shall we? Just outside the gates of Ul'dah, you'll find plenty of marmots, hornets, and shrews. Slay 3 of each and return here when finished. Oh, and use your sword, Sorin. I'm a gladiator, and I aim to train you as one. Now go. Right. I guess, of course, she'd... Well, if someone doesn't know me, of course they'd want me to start at the basics. Oops, I did not mean to double-click on whatever that was. The Gate of Nald. It's true I've never quite used a sword like this, but... Well, I'm fairly confident in my strength at this stage. Oh. I've underestimated how many enemies I'd aggro in one group. That's not a difficult task. Just some shrews. Just obliterate them, yeah. I think about it, I could be using AoE attacks would make more sense. Well, that should be that done. Suppose this is how... This is how it all starts, isn't it? I remember back when... That was actually a challenge for me when I first took up Arcanima. Welcome back, Sorin. I take it you've dispatched the beasts, and with ease. Well, yeah, it wasn't too much of a challenge, I suppose. With every swing and thrust you gain valuable experience. You must remember and reflect on each one if you're to recognize and eliminate the deficiencies in your technique. Your training under me shall continue once the haft sits so snugly in your hand that you cannot imagine holding aught else. Until then, Sorin. Oh, next quest will be available upon reaching level 5. Level 5, you say? Ah, Sorin. I take it you and your sword have become better acquainted. And I will now instruct you on another fundamental aspect of what it means to be a gladiator. Commanding an opponent's attention. As gladiators, we are trained to engage enemies at close range, weathering their attacks as we deliver our own. However, there are times when we must do battle alongside allies, whose talents are not the same as our own. In such a situation, your role is not to slay the enemy in front of you, but rather to defend the man beside you. We do this by eliciting the enmity of our opponents through attacks and techniques designed to incite their hatred. You must learn to draw the enemy's attention to yourself, and to trust in your stout constitution to endure. In so doing, you protect your weaker comrades who would otherwise perish. To help you better understand this, there's a task I would have you perform. Just so happens that Makoto of the Quicksand has requested our assistance. A gang of Laminsan marauders has paraded into town and begun harassing people outside her establishment. Men like these prey on the weak, but will turn tail and flee at the first sign of defiance. You need not resort to violence. It will suffice to show them that you are not afraid of them, and will not tolerate their behavior. Seek out the Laminsans and make your presence known by bellowing, "Face me, marauder!" In this way, you'll protect the people of Ul'dah, as you would your allies in battle. Right. Well, I can hardly say no to if it's... If Makoto needs help. But... Protecting the ally at your side. I like the sound of that. excuse me, sir. Oh, bugger off. Can't you see I'm having a civilized conversation with this poxy Orson? If you need to have a conversation, sir, you can have it with me. What? You blaming me because this little shite shot his own pants? Well, bugger him and bugger you too. You okay there? Guess this is another one. The hell do you want? This doesn't concern you, so bugger off. What if I don't feel like it? You know your friends here's a 12 damn cheat. Thinks he can charge us more because we're foreigners. It'll get his own back. Mark me words. Sorry about him. Got a lot of nerves thinking you can talk to me like that. Well, if talking to him bothers you, why don't you talk to me? Oh, come on now. He was disrespecting me proud Seawolf heritage. Fine. I'll leave the bastard be. But we ain't finished. Right. Anyone else? Just turn around and walk away, venturer. Are you deaf? Get lost. I think I'm happy enough staying right here. What else is your problem? Maybe she likes her men rough. What are you supposed to be, her bleeding manservant? It don't matter. You've gone and spoiled the mood. Right. That's... seems like everyone outside. No one would be causing trouble inside, right? Guess I spoke too soon. Epoxy arse, this is your best brew. I'd sooner drink a pint of my own piss than this swill. Sir, if you have a problem, you can deal with me. Who the hell do you think you're speaking to, maggot? I'm farm older driven. Me and my bloody marauders been raving so long, mothers scared our children with tales about us. Don't believe me words? And I'll let me axe do the talking. Rather not get in a fight inside the... Oh, this is lively, even for the quicksand. You two gonna put on a show for us? Now that doesn't feel like his voice. What's this? You're a goddamn fool. Show some respect when you talk to... Farmolder driven, leader of a troop of bloody mummers or some such. I heard you the first time. Your voice carries quite well. Unless you want me to split your skull with me axe, you better... That sword, it couldn't be... Frenzy? But only the sword of Null would... Bloody hells, it's you! You know, I've never been one to stand back and watch. Mind if I join the fun? Begging your pardon, sir. Huh. Why do they always do that? Looks like it's just you and me. Standing up to that Leminson was quite brave of you. And quite foolish.
Hello there, and goodbye. Give me a moment. Well, at least they were straight to the point. I appreciate when they conveniently let me know that I just need to immediately ban them.
Well, all due respect, sir, I'm not too worried. I think I like you, Gladiator. Name's Aldous. I'd buy you a drink, but I'm afraid I just spent and lost my coin. I used to be a young gladiator like you. Back then, but that hardly concerns you. These days, I'm just an explorer of the unexplored. A seeker of as of yet unknown experiences. Like that beautiful stranger keeping my bed warm right now. Gods, I've missed this city. This wonderful desert jewel of debauchery and sin. Now, if you'll excuse me. Right. Well, Mamori? I swear, if I hadn't seen all this with my own eyes, I wouldn't have believed it was him. Everyone here thought he died years ago. Now listen, Sorin. Do me a favor and don't tell Milla about meeting Aldous, alright? She doesn't need this sort of drama. Why? Well, let's just say some folk ain't good for one another. Right. I'm guessing there's a history here that I'm not aware of. Well, I suppose I've no reason to tell her. I did the job, and that's what matters, right? I've already heard of your exploits at the quicksand, Sorin. You did well to send those marauders packing. I wish I could say we've heard the last of them. Alas, we've received reports of axe-wielding raiders assaulting merchants travelling through Scorpion Crossing. Seems words will not suffice after all. I want you to finish what you've begun, Sorin. Head to Western Fanland and see what that Farmal and I need to read. Farmal the Driven and all those who've shared in his crimes never trouble the people of Ul'dah again. Right. I guess if he couldn't take his anger out on me, maybe he's just... Maybe it was too much to hope that being confronted by that Aldous would have him calm down. Excuse me, sir. They tore me from my saddle and took everything I own. Bring my goods back to me, I beg of you. He didn't waste time in getting to Robin. Well, this looks like something that's been dropped. Well, it's one. And it is you. Really just should have stayed quiet. Sir? Just exactly the same line. Are these your goods? 12 bless you, adventurer. If it weren't for good men like you, I'd never leave home. Just glad to be of service. Well. He won't be bothering anyone again. Even with things more stable in Eorzea, some things don't change. Guildmaster? Good, it's finished. And with that, this stage of your training is complete. This time your enemies were ill-behaved ruffians, but who knows what manner of opponents you will face in the future. Regardless, I have faith that you will do well. Master your sword, and you shall master yourself. Now then, there will be work for you in the days to come. Return to your training, Sorin. We will speak again. You look well, Sorin. I hope you're ready for your next task, because I require your immediate assistance. There have been several violent murders recently, the victims of which were all Huron men. Based on the multiple spear wounds found upon the bodies of the deceased, we believe that Lancers are responsible for the crimes. Not only are these murders a blight upon our city, I fear it is only a matter of time before one of our own is targeted. I have just received reports of foreign Lancers skulking about in Stone's Throw. Considering the circumstances, I find it likely that these are our culprits. We cannot abide any more murders. Oh, let's just call it moiters. Go to Stone's Throw, outside the Gate of Nald, and speak with any you find in the area. With luck, we may find these Lancers before they strike again. Excuse me. I suppose there's maybe a benefit in, you know, being a Huron man myself. Probably will help lure out these Lancers if I fit the bill as one of their targets. Sir? Are you okay? Don't kill me, please! I'm not the one you want! These must be the... I really have grown stronger since I started all this adventuring business. Sir? Oh, thank you, thank you! They appeared out of nowhere. Asked me if I was Aldous at Spearpoint. I said no, but they attacked me anyway. What did I do to deserve this? Aldous? They're looking for... Who is Aldous? These Lancers know so little about who they're targeting that they're just targeting any Huron man? Hardly. Can't say they're the brightest group if they're really taking that approach to it. Guildmaster? So they were indeed the murderers we sought. What brought Dusk White Freelancers all the way from the Black Shroud? And why were they murdering Huron men with swords? For sword! Oh. What is it? Lancers for sword. A gang of them, hiding in the tunnel south of Blackbird Station. It seems we're not rid of them yet. Sorin, you might as well finish what you started. Go to Central Fanalan and dispatch the last of these Freelancers. Bruce, accompany Sorin. See that he doesn't die. Well, I can't keep the bloke from getting skewered, but I'll patch him up best I can. Sorin, defend Bruce. He knows powerful healing magics, but he cannot employ them unless you keep all your enemies occupied. Make sure you command their full attention at all times. Right, I'll do my best. Hi, I'm counting on you to keep those bastards away from me. Watch me back, and I'll watch yours. Right. You have your orders, gladiators. Send those freelancers to the 7th gate. Alright. It was actually time to put into practice protecting someone. So the tunnel south of Blackbush, that's this one here, right? Bruce the Big. Seems no one's home. Let's say we wait here and ambush him when they return. Right. It's a plan. Very... You know what? Everything else has been easy. We'll keep up the idea Sorin's got his strength. Get their focus on me. Is that it? Not all of them. Huh, bastards are actually making me break a sweat. Any more? Wait. It's another one. Oh, looks like someone's pissed in his piece of porridge. Well, looks like we're finished here. Yeah, looks like we're done here. Let's head home, Sorin. You could use a drink. Well, that was resolved fairly easily. Never did find out why they were after all this, though. I wonder who he is. All Makoto said was, well, all she implied was that he and Milla have some history. Congratulations on a job well done, Sorin. Bruce says you acquitted yourself well. I must say, you've shown tremendous growth since you joined us. Well, all I can say is I've got a little bit of prior experience. I wanted to ask you. Bruce believes the freelancers were out for a bounty. What's your opinion on this, Sorin? Makoto said... To be fair, I don't know exactly what they were... why they were doing it, so... Yeah, I don't know what they were after. I see. Mayhap it is best we put this sordid affair behind us. Still, cannot help but wonder. Hail, Sorin. You came at a good time. I have another task I wish to assign you. The Immortal Flames and the Brass Blades have both requested the Guild's assistance in maintaining security at Camp Drybone, a vital outpost along the Royal Allegan Sunway. The Amalja have been raiding caravans with reckless abandon, creating a significant disruption in trade. Ul'dah has a long, troubled history with the Amalja, so raids are not unheard of. However, this recent escalation must be addressed. Go to Camp Drybone and search for these raiders, Sorin. I've already dispatched other gladiators to patrol the region, so I suggest you speak with one for more information. Right. I guess even after helping out the Brotherhood, the Flame Fangs losing their leader will only make so much of a difference. Right, so there should be other gladiators around here. What's that? Are you okay? Get down! They're still here! Amalja. Give me a moment. I think that's all of them. Don't worry, brother. I'll be fine. Maybe not when this first sword is done with me, eh? Go and tell her that the Amalja are dead. Leave the merchant to me. I'll do that. Just careful on your way back, okay? So, guess you're still out looking to gather more tempered. I haven't received any requests about dealing with Ifrit again, though. Hopefully there hasn't been another summoning. I knew I was right to send you, Sorin. You've done us proud. Heaven else, this place reeks of sweat. How do you expect a man to concentrate on his swordplay like this? Aldous? Oh, you remember me. How goes it, brother? Still waving your sword around like a feather duster? You... good to see you too, Milla, my dear. You're more beautiful than I remember. You're alive? Where have you been all these years? Answer me! Oh, me? Well, if you must know, I'm on a spiritual journey of self-discovery. Damn it, Aldous, this is serious. We all thought you were dead. For you to walk in here as though nothing ever happened. Have you forgotten how you dishonored us? I should cut you down where you stand. I'm guessing this is the history I don't know about. Oh, that's the Milla I remember, all fire and brimstone. I knew that pretty face could still contort itself into some terrifying shapes. Aw, don't pout, girl. I'm just having fun. But, as you wish. I'll go. Sorin, was it? Why didn't you join me at the quicksand? I could use some company. And I doubt anyone else here would be so kind. Guildmaster? That bastard! Why now, after all these years? Maybe I could get some more details from Aldous himself. Maybe I should let him know about make sure he knows that there were people after him. I wonder if it has anything to do with what Milla said. That he'd dishonored the guild. Aldous? Oh, you came. Sorry I had to witness that little reunion between me and Milla. Sword of Nald, back from the dead. You'd think I'd be greeted by throngs of adoring fans, not threats of violence. Listen, Sorin, you're good with a sword, that's plain to see. But more than that, you've got purpose. There's a fire burning within you. As a former man of conviction, I can recognize a kindred spirit. Geralt named her Frenzy. He's one of a magnificent pair of swords that the drunken prodigy forged for Colosseum champions. That's one of Geralt's works? The man who wielded her twin had eyes that burned like yours. Sorin, the hell's... I love Momodi's just sigh and shake of her head like kind of, not this again. All this sword of Nald, we've come for your head. If you do that, then how the hell am I supposed to enjoy my ale? Arrogant fool, prepare to meet your maker. Well, ain't you a bunch of impatient, humorless fellas? Up for a bit of fun, Sorin. I'll lead, you follow. Right. Guess we can't just let them make a mess of the quicksand. Watch closely now, Sorin. I'll show you how a Colosseum champion fights. I would have fought better about bringing bows into a bar fight. This is the kind of place I feel it favors close combat. Oh, you spoke too soon about it being... Yeah. I got the feeling something was up with you, buddy. Go. Alice? Ended up dozing off. Oh. More lancers. Watch their eyes, Sorin, not their hands. More of them down there. That's all of them. I think. Didn't think you'd go so far as to send a gang of sellswords into the quicksand in broad daylight. You know what's going on? So, is this you actually being tired or just over... Probably just actually being tired. Did you get as much sleep last night as you should have?
And, it's not the cat. Remember as well that the effect of caffeine, if you have ADHD, can often make you more likely to fall asleep than less likely. You should know I stop it. Yeah, I should know that.
Oh, why is there never a bevy of beauties? Let's continue this another time, shall we? I need to find a new place to drink. One with more attractive company than this sorry lot.
But yeah, if you want to avoid being tired, it's more like, for me, I have to avoid drinking caffeine if I want to get my my inability to sleep back. But yeah, it is possible you just needed a nap, because even I know, like, if yeah, like if I'm not able to get my full sleep, I do need to make up for it later on. Just because my sleep schedule's all over the place.
Guildmaster? I should probably report this, shouldn't I? My apologies, Sorin. I meant to teach you a new technique earlier. When that idiot arrived, I completely forgot. He's just so infuriating. The shield lob technique will allow you to attack from afar without the need for ranged weaponry. Since we gladiators are primarily close-range fighters, the ability to draw the attention of distant enemies is a valuable asset. May it serve you well in the field, Sorin.
You do doze off at work, bro.
Yeah.
It does. The tiredness does catch up to you. You catch the sleepy.
Sorin, I'm glad you're here. One of our members has been attacked and gravely wounded, and I need you to go and help him. I suspect this is the work of more bounty hunters. It may even be a trap to lure more of us into the open. Nevertheless, we cannot ignore our comrade's plight. When last he contacted us by link pearl, he said he'd try to seek shelter at the Coffer and Coffin. Take this potion and search for him there. Oh, right. The Coffer and Coffin. That's the tavern on the way to Blackbrush, isn't it?
Getting smacked by the sleep bat, yep. Yeah, that's something I'm still not quite sure if it's ADHD or autism with me, but it really does feel a little like well, no, not quite like getting hit by a bat, but the fact I don't notice I'm tired until I'm really tired, and it hits me all at once, is always an interesting feeling.
Help me. I can't feel my... Don't worry, I've brought something for you. Thank you, brother. It all happened so fast. Over by the tracks to the north. I don't know who attacked me, nor why they left me alive, but I dare say the answer is out there. Surely someone saw something. Don't worry, you just stay here and rest up. I'll go and investigate.
It always seems to sneak up on you. Yeah, it can be a little frustrating when it does that. Like, you're just in the middle of doing something and suddenly your brain is just, nope, sleep time.
Suspicious characters. Well, now you mention it,
I did see a strange fellow wearing a garish purple robe. At first I thought he was talking to himself, but then I realized he had a link pearl. I heard him say something about the wrong man and the silver bazaar. Does that help? During the day, you mean? You know, not eat. Yeah. I suppose it always would kind of be like less surprising at the time of day you're expecting. Like you should be tired. What's this? A ring. Don't know if it means anything, but if nothing else, I can try and see if I can get it back to its owner. Wonder if anyone in the tavern itself saw anything. Excuse me. Not a fellow outside. Aye, I saw him stumble in when I left the bar to take a piss. He was alone as I recall. You say he's wounded? I thought he was just a drunk. That's not too helpful. Sir? Sir? Purple robe. That sounds familiar. Aye, it was him, I'd swear it. Did you find anything else? Excuse me? I found this ring, but I don't know if it's... Picked us up by the tracks, eh? Might well have belonged to the bastard. Can't say I've seen its like before. Might be as Wyman could tell you more. You know him, don't you? He's the bespectacled bloke who's always lounging around Emerald Avenue in the city. Of course, being the businessman that he is, he'll probably ask to be compensated in exchange. Show that ring to Wyman. He's sure to know something about it. Right. I'm sure Wyman would. And I can probably spare... something to... for whatever cost of the information is. Can't wait for that assessment. I guess, yeah. But now you get to see money if you get to deal with the fun of hyperfixating on something that you don't have access to. Because that's a fun experience. It's not as like urgent, I suppose, for me, but I've ordered in some extra like physical materials for my tabletop gaming, but I had to order them in from the US, so it's going to take about a month for them to arrive. So I'm gonna have to, so I feel my brain is going to fixate on that for a while. Well now, if it isn't Sorin, everyone's favourite venturer. I hear you threw your lot in with the gladiators. Well, I suppose I have. Oops. A questionable decision, given the events of recent days, but to each his own. What do I owe the pleasure? Already hyperfixating on it. You're impatient, had you called Manila? Yep. Don't worry, Minnie. Hyperfixation's once it gets to the stage where you've been a week or two and it's still all you're focusing on. But yeah, no, I'm just hoping I can tide myself off because I tied myself over because I still have the PDFs for the rule books that I can read. It's mostly I've ordered in like some maps and tokens to use. Well, I was just wondering, Wymond, if... Do you know anything about this? Oh, you put that away before someone sees it! Where the seven hell did you get one of those rings? Don't you recognize the sigil? Goddamn fool. Before you go stumbling around in the brush, you ought to at least know what kind of venomous bastards will be lurking within. That's all you can think about lately? Yeah, that's... The fixations are fun. Been a long time since Ulda's seen a criminal organization rise from obscurity to notoriety as quickly as the Alacran. Word is they've got connections to the Brass Blades, the Syndicate, and God knows who else. But you didn't hear that from me. I want no part of whatever mess you and your mates have gotten yourselves into. Understood? Right. This doesn't sound particularly great. The Alacran. Don't know if I've ever been involved with them before. Yep. That's, I suppose it's... Yeah, are you thinking back and kind of realize it? Is this another retroactive realization, Mooney? Checking TV tropes, watching videos, checking... Yep. Oh, Sorin. I was wondering when you might return. What news do you bring of our injured comrade? I think he's okay, but... From what I can gather, The Alacran? I find that hard to believe, but no matter. One of our comrades returned from Stone's Throw moments ago. A gang of bandits is said to be headed for the Silver Bazaar. They're after a man with an enormous bounty on his head. People living there are in grave danger. In their frenzy to find their quarry, the bandits won't scruple to destroy property and harm civilians. And the few brass blades stationed there will be powerless to stop them. Alacran is Spanish for scorpion. Oh, okay. I did not know that. It's just interesting to me because I know I'm not overly familiar with Spanish, but I know it doesn't sound like an insect name. I suppose they're not insects, they're arachnids. Yeah, no, I wouldn't have guessed myself that Alacran was Spanish for scorpion. We must stop them, Sorin. We'll protect the Silver Bazaar and avenge our injured guildmate, all in one fell swoop. A bit melodramatic, if you ask me. Aldous! I told you never to come here again. That's why you're here. Yep. Make sure I'm educated. I couldn't sit idly by while you charge into battle against an enemy you know nothing about. Milla, a reasonable guildmaster would never risk the lives of our charges like this. Who are you to lecture me about responsibility? Milla, listen to me. This is the Alacran you're dealing with. So, whatever notoriety they may have achieved means nothing to me. We'll cut them down like the common bandits they are. It's not that simple. More importantly, it's not your fight. What are you saying? They want me, Milla. I've been fending off assassination attempts ever since I returned to Fanalan. Just stay here and let me handle this. It'll be over soon, I promise. Just stay here while you go off on your own, is that it? It's been 7 years since I let you leave, Aldous. 7 years.
Do you have any idea what at all what you put me through? Milla, I don't want to hear it, you selfish bastard. Do you even care about the people who suffered because of you? Just get out. We don't need your help. We'll settle this ourselves. Milla, wait, there's something you need to know. Enough! Get out! Get out! Alright. Save some of that for the Alacran. We do try not to let Sorin here come to harm while you're at it. Right. I'll, meet you out at the Silver Bazaar, then. Okay, whatever happened between them, yeah. Things definitely seem a little heated. I want to give me a flying mount. No, not PD. That works. Bring out the regalia. I wonder if someone at some point will actually tell me what happened between Aldous and Milla. Or I suppose Aldous and the guild. Doesn't sound like it's just between the two of them, but well, Milla definitely seems most affected. There you are, Sorin. Everyone's already in position. Are you prepared? Ready as ever. Alright. Not all of them. You said as the game automatically set it to very easy. And it feels well, that's them dealt with. Rejoice, gladiators, for the day is ours. Wonder if it's because you're overlap. Yeah, I was going to change it back to normal, but then I considered that the out-of-instance battles are so easy that it makes more. I think it makes more narrative sense for Sorin to be powerful in the instances as well. Looks like we're not done quite yet. Milla is... What? But why would you be... Leave him to us, First Sword. No, stop! Such brittle blades, so easily broken. Perhaps the First Sword is made of stronger steel. Leave her, Zana. Our business here is over. What was... Wait, that... Frenzy? What have you done, Leovold? For Sword, we must withdraw. The wounded need tending. Let us take them back to the guild.
we're leaving? I guess we are. The Titan horse. Which ones don't I have? I've got Titan, Leviathan, Rama, and Sheep. So I still need Garuda and Ifrit? There's only 6 horses, isn't there? Maybe one day I'll actually bother grinding for them with Sorin. Oh yeah, I still need to pick up this week's Wondrous Tales. I've been slacking on my Final Fantasy this week. What? I think it's mostly been Starfinder I've been distracted by. Been spending a lot of time reading rulebooks. Wondrous Tales, you've been slacking. Yeah, it's kind of thing. Like if there's something else that's you want to focus more on P5 this week. Yeah, I mean that's fair enough. You've been getting to a good point in Persona 5. But yeah, it's hard. What is that? No, I thought that was a picture of Aldous for a moment. Give me a moment, Sorin. I need to think. I wanted to spare you this, Milla. I begged you not to go. You knew, Aldous, that Leovold had... Leovold and I once fought side by side in the Colosseum. The Twin Swords of Null Fall, they called us. Never lost a match. Honoured by the Bull of Alamigo himself. But that was then, and this is now. When I learned Leovold single-handedly transformed the Alacran from a gang of common thieves into the most feared criminal organization in Fanlan, I knew I had to return. A more retroactive realization just hit you? Oh boy. Seems like a lifetime ago that the 3 of us used to train together in this hall. The Leovold I knew would never stoop so low. He was a good man, strong and true. What would drive him to do this? When I find him, I'll be sure to ask. Unfortunately, he seems determined to kill me for my curiosity. What aren't you telling me, Aldous? I'm not clever enough to keep secrets, my dear. I'm a simple man, only capable of dealing with what's right in front of me. Is that so? I'll find him, Milla. I promise. There are some weird camera, like the tracking camera in some shots in A Realm Reborn that's a bit janky. Sorin, I must apologize for my earlier behavior. As First Sword, my duty is not only to foster your growth as a gladiator, but to also protect you from dangers you are not yet ready to face. I did not know that Leovold had become leader of the Alacran. Had he chosen to bear his steel at us, many and more of us would not have returned alive. I need to know why he's turned to a life of crime, and so I've ordered my best men to scour Fanlan for any trace of his whereabouts. Unfortunately, one of them has disappeared. I have strong suspicions that he has been taken prisoner by the Alacran, or worse. If there is any hope of saving him, we must act quickly. I would have you search for our missing comrade. His last report stated that he was tracking the Alacran near the Hammers in western Fanlan. If you go there, you may yet find some clues to his fate. I've been far too reckless in recent days, and I let too many good gladiators come to harm. Please, Sorin, find our missing comrade and bring him home safe.
of course.
Made a habit of trying to leave things where you... Oh, yeah, having to try and put things where they're clearly in sight. No, I know what it's like. I definitely know that. The... having to make sure you can see something to be able to remember it even exists. Oh, that's... Oh, there's one of the things that bothers me about buying food, is when I buy food and then I have to put it away in the cupboard, I forget that food exists, so there's a lot of food I've wasted because I forget to ever eat it. And I get really annoyed when I finally do find it. Still forgetting to think somehow you didn't notice. Yeah, that's a thing that happens. You can't see the thing that's right in front of your eyes. Oh, but can you beat this one, Minnie? Have you ever forgotten where something is while it's been in your hand? Because I have spent half an hour scouring my house for something before, when the object I was looking for was in my hand the whole time. It's a trap, brother. More of them. Or in your pocket. You okay? That's some fine swordship, Sorin. Milla, the first sword certainly knows how to pick 'em. Even after all these years, I can't quite bring myself to call her that. I still remember when her father first brought her to the guild. A wee lass who cried at the sight of naked steel. But look at her now. You'd swear she was born with a blade in her hand. Not like she had much of a choice but to rise to the occasion, though. What with all that trouble Aldous got into 7 years ago. Selfish bastard, he should have never... But enough of my rambling. I'll make my way back to Ildar after a short rest. You go on ahead and tell Milla that I'm fine. Just... careful on your way back. Oh. Oh, excuse me. Glad you have a purse. Yeah, I don't have I have a... I tend to always buy trousers that have knee pockets as well as the normal two pockets. I don't know, I've got myself into a habit of kind of, my keys are always in one particular pocket, my wallet's always in one, my phone's always in one. So I have everything I need coordinated. That's always been helpful though for... If I notice a particular pocket's empty, I know I'm forgetting something. Sorin, thank the gods you're alright. Yeah, I still don't understand the no pockets thing. It's never made sense to me. I heard all about the ambush at the Hammers. Excellent work. You've been invaluable to the guild, and I cannot thank you enough. In fact, I believe you deserve a much-needed rest. Take some time for yourself, and return when you've recuperated. But before you go, speak with Lulitsu. I believe she has a message for you. Oh, she does? Lulitsu? Ah, Sorin. Very gladiator I was seeking. Lean closer, for I would not have the others hear my words. Aldous sends his regards, and requests you meet him at the Lichard in Eastern Fanalan. Naturally, I have not divulged this information to the First Sword, As you may have gathered from their previous interactions, she's still rather upset with him, and would likely forbid any further association. Quite understandable, since he was clearly being groomed to become the next guildmaster before that horrible scandal. They would have made such a lovely couple. Forgive me, this is hardly an appropriate topic of conversation. Anyway, you have my word that the First Sword will not hear of any rendezvous from me. Right. I think it's because designers just assume girls will always have a purse. Yeah, I mean, I suppose. I just still like, why not? If you have a purse, are you not also allowed pockets? Why must it be one or another? Aldous? Did you wanted to see me? Where have you been? Busy drowning in some sweet young thing's eyes? Well, if that's the case, I understand completely. Not really. It's been 7 years since Milla's father was laid to rest here. He was mean and stubborn, an old algoat through and through. But gods, when he danced with sword in hand, it was pure poetry in motion. Milla's right. There's no way I could know what it was like for her back then. Forced to replace her father under such terrible circumstances. Wait, that's... And who might you be? Another of Leovold's lackeys? Master Leovold has been most distressed since learning of your return. This is unacceptable. Your master does not deserve your loyalty, kitten. When you've outlived your usefulness, he'll dispose of you like so many others. Believe me, I speak from personal experience. Say what you will, I will not be swayed. She looks awfully determined to kill me. Still, I'm not really in the mood to play. Mind stopping her, Sorin? Me? Right. Yeah, I've seen like dresses with pockets recently. That's... You've gotten stronger. Good. I'm glad Milla has a man like you to rely upon. She's her father's daughter, a leader of men, a true warrior, and an obstinate woman who lets her feelings cloud her judgment. Which is why she needs to be surrounded by dependable people who will give her good counsel and keep her temper in check. Now more than ever. Stick by her. She needs you more than she knows. Right. Good thing about summers is going to be sundress weather again. Oh. Oh, no. No, for me, I think my sense of fashion is kind of the same year round. I need to get more short-sleeved shirts. No, I've only got one. I'll do what I can, Aldous. Thank you. I know this business with Leovold and the Alacran has everyone on edge, but it's almost over now. You have my word. I owe it to her old man to put an end to this.
to give him peace in Falls Realm by making that bastard Leovold finally answer for his crimes.
Kind of nice to not think about what you have to wear. Well, it's not. Feel like I guess I'm gonna sit there trying to figure that out. Yeah. Yeah, I've kind of taken that option away from myself by not ever buying a variety of clothes. Oh, but yeah, I have the same. I kind of sit and panic about what exactly I should be wearing if I have like a meeting or a appointment somewhere. Because yeah, most of the time I don't care if I'm going out just like to pick up something from the shops or something, or if I'm just gonna be around the house.
Remember what I said, Sorin. Now go. He's probably wondering where you are. Right. Still don't quite know what happened. Alice doesn't seem like the kind of person who'd betray the guild. Even that is a decision making annoyance. I suppose I've just never put too much thought into it. It's kind of t-shirt, cargo trousers. That's it. My thoughts don't need to go any further than that. I haven't had much reason to dress up for anything for a while. Guildmaster? Why are you staring at me like that, Sorin? Something the matter? You're behaving rather oddly. Well, I'm afraid I have no news regarding the Alucard's movements. I remain confident that we'll find him soon, though, so keep your blade sharp. Here's the final. Damn it all to the seventh hell! This is madness! It's Aldous! He's been arrested by the Brass Blades. They claim he was plotting to assassinate the Sultana. This is utter nonsense. He has no motive to do so. And whatever I've said about the man, he would never resort to using poison. The Alcran must be behind this. They failed to kill him time and again. Now they're reaching out to their monetarist allies. Didn't want to believe Wyman when he said they had such influence, but... Wait, that's it. If anyone can help us unravel this plot, it's Wyman. He has a reputation for knowing things he shouldn't, after all. Find Wyman. See what he can tell us. Aldous is many things, but he is not a murderer. Right. I'm definitely... The idea of a plot to poison the Sultana, though, brings back... bad memories. I'm with Miller that I don't think it's Aldous, but if there's a possibility that someone's making this plan... I was wondering when you might come along, Sorin. Frankly, I'm surprised Aldous went so quietly. You ought to know there's no walking away from this. Do you have any idea why?
You really don't know, do you? Best I start at the beginning, then. Oh, this is something of an enigma. He and Leovold were two of the greatest gladiators ever to grace the Bloodsands. But he threw all that hard-fought glory away for a few gil more. See, the average Uldan loves a good Colosseum fight. And what better way to make a gladiatorial spectacle more entertaining than wagered on the outcome? So, when it got out that Aldous was orchestrating a match-fixing scheme of untold proportions, well... Excuse me? You can imagine the shock and anger the people felt. He was expelled from the Colosseum, and his wins were stricken from the record. Your Guildmaster Miller got the worst of it, though. Not only was her friend exposed as a fraud, but around the same time her father fell ill and passed away. There were some oddities surrounding his death, too. It was rumoured he took his own life out of shame for his disgraced pupil, or that he might have even been murdered by the man. Baseless conjecture, really, but it made Aldous look that much worse. In the end, Miller lost two of the most important men in her life, and was forced to take charge of the guild alone. And Leovold? He tried to go it solo in the Bloodsands, but it wasn't the same. Without Aldous, his career was finished. Now you know the nature of the man, you so desperately want to save. Oh, judging from that look in your eyes, I gather you still have your reservations. Fine then. Though you can't blame me for doubting a man found in possession of Ralgar's bile. It's a vile poison, rare and expensive. Only the Corpse Brigade knows how to make it, I hear. Gods only know why they'd give it to Aldous. Could go to their headquarters at the Sepulchre in Southern Fallon and ask him direct, I reckon. I have an aversion to direct confrontation personally, but you don't, do you? By the by, should you save the poor bastard's life, tell him we're even. And that I hope it was all worth it. I'll try and remember that. Right. So that's what... He was rigging matches? Doesn't quite say anything about why... Leovold is doing what he's doing now. Is it just... revenge? Alright. I wonder if this is that Ralgar's bile stuff. Should have guessed. If the Alacrana are here, then I feel there's something to this. What's this? Something they don't want They don't want me to get my hands on from the looks of it. This is a... Yeah, this is... The Alacran bought it. Need to get this back to Miller. I hate it. It takes you forever to finally get around to filing the order. Yeah, finding the motivation and energy to do things can be a trial at times. First sword? Think I found something. Where have you been, Sorin? Aldous has been given over into the custody of the Sacrarium. They mean to execute him. We must do something. If we're quick, I think I found something that... well, they'll at least have to consider. This poison, is it... You've proved that the Algran purchased it from the Corpse Brigade? Thank the gods you've done it. Quickly, we must show this to the official presiding over his execution at Highbridge. Go, now! Or you just wait for the last minute to get it, yeah. Well, it really feels it. Yeah, that's... yeah, that's how it is, Mooney. It's when your body relies on adrenaline as its main source of motivation. You need to let things get to the most stressful point possible before you can actually motivate yourself. Sir, excuse me. The Sacrarium has sentenced you to death for your crimes against the Sultanate. Have you any last... Who are you? And what do you want? You can't help it but make things more difficult. Yep. You don't have a say in the matter. Life is gonna be difficult. These are bold accusations you make, adventurer. However, the Sacrarium has found a prisoner guilty in the eyes of gods and men, and he will be executed forthwith. Don't waste your breath, Sorin. False scales have always yielded to wealth above all else. Leovold spent a fortune to secure my sentence. Silence, criminal. And you, what are you waiting for? Do it. No. Aldous! You just couldn't stay away, could you? Well, at least I don't have to steal the headsman's axe. If the gods are to have blood this day, I'm afraid it won't be mine. Since you two are so devout, perhaps you'd be willing to offer yourselves in exchange. Mercy! Well, that's... looks like we've still got trouble. Interfering with the law is a heinous crime. In fact, I believe it is punishable by death. I think I should get up there. I had a feeling the spectacle would draw you here. I should have dealt with you myself from the start. Come. Let's dance, brother. So it's to be a rematch. Very well. I accept. Mill and the others need you, Sorin. Leave him to me. Right. Anyway, up to the others.
Doesn't look like they're making it easy on me. After everything in the first... This isn't much of a fight. Right. This is a massacre, yeah. These people don't realize who they're fighting. Right. Here we go. Aldous! To be fair, in the timeline, this will be before you actually make a name for yourself. In normal timeline, yes, but this is Sorin's timeline. This happens after. You almost had me, Leovold. Stay back. I won't have your pity. You just had to have it all, didn't you? Just one victory. Just one bloody match. But your precious ego couldn't accept that. You ruined everything. Tell me, Aldous. How does it feel to lose your name, your legacy, everything you ever loved? I want to know how much you suffered. Let it go, Leovold. It's over. Like hell as it is, I swear you will never know peace. Not in this life, or the next. Leovold, no! That... You know damn well neither of us will see False Realm. Let's go. My comrades are waiting. Right. Yeah, it is still funny in the post-end walker whenever someone thinks they can take on the Warrior of Light. Like, do you know who I am? My assumption is kind of along the way that most people know the Warrior of Light, but for most people they aren't as sure like who the Warrior of Light is. They just kind of know there's this hero. I mean, in Pandemonium raids, yeah. Oh, that was. Yeah, it was. I remember you bringing it up during your own stream. Yeah, but I'm trying to remember. There was a show I watched. I can't remember if it was an anime or a live action tokusatsu show. But
the enemy kind of got this, like, super powerful upgrade or something. But by getting that upgrade, it was what allowed the good guys to actually defeat them. Because kind of like, oh, yes, you've made yourself more powerful, but by doing so, you've become the very thing that we're good at fighting. I can't remember where that was at though. Oh no, I think it might have been Garrow. Yeah, I think it was Garrow. There was a season where there was one of the villains who was human, and it's kind of like, oh, you can't cut me down because Makai Knights are forbidden from attacking humans. You've sworn an oath to protect humans and never raise your swords against them. But then he takes on the power of the horrors who Makai Knights fight. Like, yes, I have this power now. It's like, yes, you have this power, but because you've forsaken your humanity, we're allowed to kill you now. I'm glad you were there, Sorin. Without you, I doubt we could have defeated the Alacran. Have you ever considered the Colosseum? You'd make a wonderful attraction. Of course, you need a title to befit your prowess. I think I have enough titles, Aldous. Now that it's all over, you'll be staying, won't you? No. Leovold may be dead, but the Alacran are far from finished. I'd rather not linger and give them a chance to regroup and seek revenge. It is a true tragedy that I cannot enjoy the company of Ulda's lovely ladies any longer, but I have faith that equally radiant beauties await me in distant lands. Aldous, Not another word, my dear. It's bad enough that the First Sword has permitted a disgraced gladiator to fraternize with her subordinates. Can you imagine the scandal if she became personally involved with the man? Like waiting for Tina to 18 so you could legally kick her. I guess that's an analogy. Nevertheless, I understand how you feel, Milla. I'm known to have this effect on the fairer sex. I should have let the headsman have his way with you. That way you might learn something of humility. But how am I supposed to remember the lesson without a head? Your father would be proud of you, Milla. Don't ever change. Ah, yes, there's one more thing I wanted to say to you before I go, Sorin. Alice? 7 years ago, before my last match on the Blood Sands, I was given an offer. A sultan's ransom in exchange for a loss. Leovold begged and pleaded, but I just couldn't do it. Call it honor or pride or whatever you like. I made my choice, and in spite of it, and in spite of all that came of it, to this day I have no regrets. It's a simple thing to know what's right. Listen to that heart of yours, and it will never lead you astray. Trust in your comrades, have faith in your skills, and you'll triumph over any adversity. And with that, I bid you all farewell. I'd better not have to wait 7 years to see that bastard again. There's still so much I want to... What the seven hells are you looking at? This is a training hall. Why aren't you all training right now? You think all it takes to stand under Blood Sands is a sword and a stupid grin? No. It takes years of hard work, an ocean of blood and sweat, and an unbreakable will. Every man and woman here has the potential to become a champion. But it is you and you alone who decides your destiny. Right. So on to me now, gladiators. Will you follow in the footsteps of your brothers and sisters and inscribe your names in legend? Oh. There we go. You've completed the quest Gladiator. Exiting New Game Plus mode. Well, Sorin's journey as a gladiator has begun. Well, and ended, I suppose, because next time it's Paladin. Yep, we've got Realm Reborn. I might be able to fit both of those into one stream. I think the Realm Reborn and Heavensward. I'll have to see. But for now, that's going to be everything. See, it doesn't stop the retroactive realize. Oh no! You see more find out more things, Minnie? Oh, I'll finish up now. You can tell me all about it. Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow with more Final Fantasy, where we'll be continuing on with the, well, starting Sorin's journey as a paladin. Yeah. Finishing up now. Yeah, next week I'm probably going to start with Persona. Because I'm quite keen to get back to Persona 3, because left on a bit of a cliffhanger last time. At least kind of it wasn't a dramatic cliffhanger, but it left me with kind of I am waiting for something to happen. But yeah. For now, that's everything. So, if you enjoyed and you want to see more, you can always follow me on Twitch. You could subscribe on YouTube. That's where my schedules go up, telling you what times I stream and what games I'm playing. But regardless of what you do, until the next time I see you, I hope you have a good evening, have a good night, and until the next time I see you, goodbye.